Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So today we have a battle against Kendrick, random person offline. So yeah, looking at their team, it looks to be very strong and well balanced. So looking at my team, it is the same one that I've been using the past couple of games here. So what do I want to lead with in this one? I think we're actually going to go with the Jolteon this time. Seems like a pretty decent idea. As we know, they do not have the electric immunity, which is always nice. So yeah, we'll see how that works out for us. And we are also going to change the soundtrack, of course, because we can. Alright, so looks like he is going to go ahead and lead with the Tyranitar, going right through the ground, as per the usual with Scarlet and Violet, as we lead with the Jolteon. So, going to go ahead and get the Sandstream up right away, and so yeah, I think we're actually just going to go ahead and go straight for a Choice Specs Volt Switch on this thing. No reason not to, since again they don't have the electric immunity. We know we're going to outspeed. That is going to take this thing down by about a third, which is really nice damage, even in the sand with that special defense increase. And then we're going to go ahead and get a switch in on this thing. I think we're going to go ahead and just come in with the Gastrodon. That seems like the best course of action. So there it is. And he's just going to go for the Stealth Rock, get the entry hazard set up on us, kind of as expected, but that just kind of is what it is. So, I don't know that he's going to want to stay in on this matchup, probably not, so I think we're just going to take this opportunity to go ahead and throw our own Stealth Rock up here, as he is indeed going to want to switch, and he is going to switch into the Dondozo. That's kind of as predicted, as there's not much we can do to this thing with the Gastrodon, but we do get the Stealth Rock up on him, which is of course nice for us. And then this thing is going to take some damage from the sand, and then it is just going to regain that damage right away with the leftovers. So, unfortunately, again, there's not much we can do to this thing, but at the same time, I don't know that there's much this thing can do to us. And this thing does hit, or can hit pretty hard, so I don't know if we want to switch out. I think for the first turn, we'll stay in here and just go for an Earth Power, see what kind of damage we're going to get on this thing, and see what he wants to do. So he's just going to go for the Wave Crash, so actually anticipating the switch on our side, but staying in is actually going to go ahead and trip our Storm Drain to give us a special attack increase. We go for the Earth Power in return, and thanks to that special attack boost, that is going to take this thing down by over half, which is incredible. And then they are going to take some sand damage, get some leftovers recovery. So that's definitely a two-shot from that range, which is incredible. They do have the ground immunity on deck, but I say we just make the safe play here and go for the Earth Power, as they do actually stay in and go rest. So they're going to go ahead and go to sleep and, of course, regain all their health, which is unfortunate. But that is okay. We are going to hit this thing with an Earth Power, which is just going to knock it right back down to the same range it was in. We are not going to change course here. And so yeah, they're going to take the sand damage and gain some HP from the leftovers again. So we're not going anywhere with this Gastrodon. We don't have a reason to. So they are asleep. We could predict the switch, but I don't know. I say we just stay in and play it safe and Earth Power again, so that's what we're going to do. They do stay in. They are asleep here, and they can't do anything as we go for the next Earth Power. That is going to be enough to finish the Dondozo off and knock them down to 5. So that was a great turn of events for us, as the Sandstorm is going to go away this turn as well. So really nice to get rid of that thing pretty much unscathed. So now they're going to go ahead and come in with the Flutter Mane, which is not legal, but what can you do? They do take the Stealth Rock damage, and then Photosynthesis Booster Energy, going to give them a special attack increase. So this is bad news, of course, for us. I don't know if we want to switch out or not. I mean, Gastrodon does look pretty useful against the rest of their team, so I kind of do want to switch out. The Flutter Mane is going to be a problem, but I think the best thing we can do here is probably just go to the scissor, so that's what we're going to do. And we'll see how well we can take an attack from this thing. I don't know. It does have very high special attack, so there it is. And we are going to take the Stealth Rock damage as this thing does go for an energy ball, so it was just trying to take us out straight away. Did have the coverage, but not going to do too much to the scissor, fortunately, as we do regain some HP with our leftovers. So, we could definitely just make the obvious play and bullet punch this thing. I think it might be enough to take it out as its physical defense is pretty low. Or we could predict the switch. I say we probably just have to play it safe in this situation because this thing could have coverage for us, so we're just going to go bullet punch here as he is not going to want to stay on the matchup. He's going to switch out into the Skeletor, so he could have got a U-turn, should have got a U-turn, but it is what it is. This thing is going to take the Stealth Rock damage as we do bullet punch it, and that is going to do a little bit of chip, which is not terrible, as it is then going to regain some HP with the leftovers. So we are also going to regain some HP with the leftovers here, which is nice. And so, yeah, I think this turn there's no reason for us to not just switch straight into our Goodra, so that is exactly what we're going to do. Goodra is more than fit to handle this thing, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And we are going to take the Stealth Rock damage as this thing is going to go for a Torch Song. So that is not going to do barely anything to us as we are max HP with a Assault Vest, very defensive, and this thing gets the special attack increase off the Torch Song and off a Throat Spray, which is not great, but Goodra can still take attacks from this thing, or should be able to still take attacks from this thing, no problem, as I think we're just going to go straight for a Surf this turn, and this thing is going to go for a Yawn, unfortunately, so we are going to be going to sleep next turn if we don't switch out, but we are going to be able to hit it with a Surf in return for max special attack. It is not quite enough to take the Skeledirge out, unfortunately, as he is going to regain some HP with the leftovers. So now we have a little bit of a decision to make, because if we stay in with the Goodra here, we're going to be going to sleep, which is obviously bad news. If we switch out, this thing is going to be able to recover on us. So I think what we want to do here is we want to make a long-term play here, and we want to switch out because we don't want to go to sleep. I'm kind of looking down the road here to the future, and we definitely, I don't think, want to go to sleep here. But what do we switch into is the question. We know he's probably not going for a fire attack. I say we go back into the Gastrodon. Actually, that's what we're gonna do, because yeah, we can't go to sleep, because even though we could take this thing out, that's gonna give him free reign to come in with something else and set up, and we really can't afford that. So coming in with the Gastrodon, take the Stealth Rock damage. This thing does go for the Will-O-Wisp, perhaps anticipating the switch. So that is going to land to burn the Gastrodon, which is a little unfortunate because that is going to cancel out our leftovers recovery, but it just kind of is what it is. This thing is going to regain some HP with the leftovers, first revealing that it is going to be faster than us, as we also get some HP back with the leftovers, and then we're just going to lose that damage right back to the burn. So I think this time around, there's no reason for us to just not go for a Surf, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We want to try and get rid of this thing. He is just going to stay in and go Shadow Ball to get some damage on us. That will take us down to about half, but we do survive, go for the Surf in return, and that will definitely finish off the Skeledirge from that range, knocking him down to 4 Pokemon, as we are going to get some HP back from the leftovers once again. And then we are just going to lose that damage to the burn. So we'll see what he wants to bring in response here. And it is going to be the Flutter Mane. So I think at this stage in the game, he's going to take some more Stealth Rock damage, which is nice. I think at this point, with Gastrodon being weakened and without having any way to regain any HP here, I think we're just going to stay in here and click Surf again. He might take us out, and he actually does go for the Shadow Ball this time, So that is not quite enough, actually, to finish our Gastrodon off, which is incredible. We survive in the red, 17 HP, go for the Surf in return, and that is going to get some really nice damage on that Flutter Mane, which is nice, as we do get some HP back with the leftovers, and then just lose it right back to the burn. So again, we're not going to change course here. I think we're just going to go ahead and click Surf once again here, as he's just going to go Energy Ball this time, and that will obviously be more than enough to go ahead and finish the Gastrodon off from that range, knocking us down to 5. But that's okay. Gastrodon did put in some very nice work in this one. So I think at this point we're going to go ahead and just go ahead and come right back in with the Scissor here. No reason not to. We know this thing is definitely going to be in Bullet Punch range at this point. So we come in with that, take some Stealth Rock damage. I don't know that they... I mean, they do have switches to Scissor. I don't know if they want to keep the Flutter Mane around or not, since it is weakened. So we have a little bit of a choice to make. If we anticipate that they're going to switch, U-turn's obviously the play, but if they stay in Bullet Punch is obviously the play. I think we're ahead. We don't want to make any risky predictions. We're just going to go Bullet Punch here, as they do stay in. So we go ahead and get the Bullet Punch, which will be enough from that range to finish that Flutter Mane off and knock them down to 3. So that definitely did work out exactly as we wanted to. Definitely did not want to over-predict there, as we are going to get some HP back with the leftovers once again. So, we'll see what he wants to bring in response. So he's got the Dragonite, the Lucario, and I don't remember the last one, as the last 3 Pokemon here. So, we'll see what he wants to come in with to face the Scissor. And he is definitely taking his time thinking about this one. Alright, so it is going to be the Tyranitar. Yeah, I should have remembered that since we saw the Tyranitar already. So, going to come in with the Tyranitar. Going to go ahead and get the Sandstream to kick the Sandstorm up once again. So, now the question becomes, what do we want to do to this thing? So, we could definitely just stay in and hit this thing hard. This thing could have coverage for us, which could be bad. So, I think, how do we want to play this here? How do we want to play this? How do we want to play this? I think, you know what, I think we're actually just going to switch to the Hawlucha, because we want to try and scout this thing, see what it wants to do. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and switch in with the Hawlucha here. So there it is. And we do take the Stealth Rock damage, as this thing is going to go for a Thunder Wave, so that's interesting. Going to go ahead and paralyze the Hawlucha here, as we then are going to take some Sandstorm damage here. So that's okay. I think in this situation, we are just going to go ahead and we're not going to play around with this thing. We're just going to go ahead and click Close Combat here, as he's not going to want to stay in on this matchup. Going to switch. And what is he going to want to come in with? It is going to be the Dragonite. So going to come in with that and take some Stealth Rock damage, breaking the multi-scale, which is incredible. We're going to hit the Close Combat on this thing. We are max attack, but still not going to do a terrible amount of damage. Going to take this thing down to about half. We do take those defense drops, and then we are both going to take some sand damage here. So this thing could definitely be ready to set up on us right now. And we definitely don't want that, so we don't want to switch here. We do run the risk of getting full parried, which would be really bad. We also run the risk of missing if we go for Stone Edge. So how do we want to play this? I say we just actually, you know what, I think we just have to chip this thing a little more to the point that one of our priority Pokemon can take it out. So we're just going to go Close Combat again. This thing is actually not going to set up, just going to go for a Hurricane, which is interesting. Actually hits it. And that's going to go ahead and finish our Hawlucha off, knocking us to 4. So that was an interesting turn of events, as the Dragonite is going to take some damage from the sand. So definitely was not expecting that. But Special Dragonite is a thing, so We are just going to go ahead and come back in with Jolteon, though, as we should definitely be fit to handle this thing. We do take the Stealth Rock damage, and so I think there's no reason for us to just not go straight for the Choice Specs Thunderbolt, so that's what we're going to do, as we will see what he wants to do. He's going to go ahead and Terrastalize. Alright, so going to break out the Terra. And let's see, what type is he going to go into? It is going to be the Fairy type, so that is definitely interesting. Terra Fairy Dragonite coming in. Very interesting. So we are just going to outspeed it, hit it with a Thunderbolt, and that's actually just going to go ahead and knock it out. So that's awesome for us. That's going to knock him down to 2. Did not get to see what that Dragonite wanted to do, but that's fine by me, as we too take some damage from the Sandstorm. So now he is going to go ahead and come in with the Tyranitar once again, going to take some damage from the Stealth Rocks. At this point in the game, I don't think there's any reason to switch out, so we're just going to stay in and hit this thing with a Choice Specs Thunderbolt as hard as we can. There it is. And is it enough? It is going to be enough to go ahead and finish that Tyranitar off and knock him down to just 1 Pokemon, so that is incredible, as the Sandstorm is going to go away this turn. So his last Pokemon is going to be the Lucario. He's going to come in with that and take that Stealth Rock damage just a little bit. And again, there's no reason for us to switch at this point. We're just going to fire off another Choice Specs Thunderbolt at this thing. We do outspeed it, and that is just going to go ahead and one-shot that Lucario outright. And yeah, that is game. So we are going to win that one 4-0 against Kendrick, but that was a really good game, actually. Very competitive and very solid game. And we can go ahead and quit. And we can go ahead and turn the music off as well. Alright, so that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.